So there's been a new update, a new June 2025 update for the MM2H visa. Now I'll be going over all the points here in this video as well as answer all of your most asked questions because yes, these MM2H rules and regulations can be pretty confusing at times. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Naz and I help expats and investors like you figure out how to move, live, retire and invest smarter in Malaysia. From visa guides to neighborhood deep dives and property walkthroughs, this channel is your all-access pass to everything Malaysia doesn't tell you up front. Alright, let's start off with question number 1. What and where is the SEZ zone? There's apparently 6 and some of you guys are asking if I can buy a property in Johor Bahru city centre. Okay, so let's get one thing straight about the MM2H SEZ pass, right? Johor has a few SEZ zones, right? And honestly, it's a bit complicated, but we're not going to get into that because the SEZ zones are different from the JS SEZ. Right? JS means Johor Singapore SEZ zones. Now, these SEZ zones are for business purposes between Johor and Singapore. It's totally different from the other SEZ zones. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to let you guys know that Forest City is considered as a SFZ zone, which is a special financial zone. It's among all of the zones, there's only one SFZ and it is there. So as of now, all we need to know is that Forest City is the only place that you can buy a property if you're going for the SEZ SFC pass. And they keep saying this sentence, it's the only city or is the only zone for now. So which means there may be a time in the future that if you take this pass, you can buy a property anywhere else in Johor. So yeah, but if that time comes, then I think the minimum property purchase price or the entry requirements might be different. So that's something to look out for, right? So right now you're buying a property in Forest City and it has to be directly from a developer. Okay, it has to be from the Country Garden developer. It has to be a brand new unit. All right, the minimum price is about 500,000 ringgit. If I'm not mistaken, there's no minimum price, but the smallest unit in Forest City right now is about 500,000 ringgit and it's about, I think, 500 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Okay, that's the most important thing you need to note. It's slightly expensive because it's 1,000 ringgit per square feet. Now, 1,000 ringgit per square feet is considered high-end in the whole of Malaysia. That is considered almost KL price, that is high-end Penang price and high-end Selangor price, right? That's one thing to note. What's the application process like? Okay, so application process is fairly simple. Now, I know most of you don't understand. Let me just go through it so you guys know what to expect when you're applying for MM2H. Okay, first off is you need to send all your documents to your agent. Alright, send all the documents to your agent and they will apply for you. So you don't actually have to be in Malaysia, you can just send it online. Alright, once they have applied for you, within 2 or 3 months, you will get an approval. If everything is good, you'll get an approval. And once you do get the approval, you have a 3-month window to visit Malaysia, right? So once you visit Malaysia, you got to do a couple of things. Number 1 is open a bank account, all right? Number 2 is place the fixed deposit in the bank account, depending on your tier, silver, gold or platinum or the SEZ, right? Then you got to do a medical checkup and then you got to do or get your medical insurance. Okay, these are the things you got to settle once you're down here within that 3 months, and it's a very fast thing. You can get it done in a few days. Try not to waste too much time or do it towards the end of the 3 months. Get it done as soon as you can, because once you've done all those things, you can immediately go to the immigration department to endorse your passports. So if you're coming in with your dependents, all of your dependents need to be physically present at the immigration office before they can stamp or give you the endorsement on your passport. That's the most important thing right now. So once you have the endorsement on your passport, that's it, the end. You already get your MM2H visa, you can go in and out. The next step is to actually buy a property and immediately withdraw your 50% fixed deposit. We'll get to that shortly. I know you guys are thinking, why should I send my application through an MM2H agent? Can I apply for MM2H myself? Short answer is no, you cannot. Okay, you must appoint an official MM2H agent. I do work with MM2H agents, with official MM2H agents, so you can go through me, and of course I will be there to make sure everything's okay. But MM2H agents, they'll know how to handle everything. So going through me, just want to be honest, I do get a small referral fee, but if you don't want to go through me, it's still fine. Let me show you guys how you can make sure that your MM2H agent is legit. Okay, there is a new licensing number that starts with the 810 or 850 or 801, those kind of things, right? So make sure that is there, and you can also check it online at the MOTEC website here. I'll leave the link in the description. So you have to check and verify that that is the official MM2H agent. So only get or take numbers from this website. Do not take it from any other website, because MM2H, or basically MOTEC, the government agency, does not verify the other agents. That's very important. Now, you might be asking, why must go through an agency? Well, to what I've heard is that the government has received so many incomplete applications that they have been just rejecting about more than 70-80% of them that individuals apply with. So to streamline the entire process, they do not want to go through that. So that's why they are just getting everybody to go with an MM2H agent. Why is the MM2H agent fee very high? I know a lot of you guys have been asking me this. A lot of you guys are fighting in the comments because of this. Okay, so one thing to note is that all fees are regulated by the Malaysian government under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act. The agencies cannot simply charge however they like. It's all a fixed fee, especially now. This is the latest update. It's a fixed fee. So with that being said, here are the fixed fee for each tiers, and it only applies to the main applicant. Okay, for the Platinum Pass, it's 70,000 ringgit. For Gold is 55,000 ringgit. For Silver and the SEZ SMC Pass, it's 40,000 ringgit for the entire application fee. I know it sounds expensive, it feels expensive, like why do I have to pay 40,000 ringgit? But hear me out, this fee, right, includes all the other smaller fees that you don't have to pay for it anymore. Let's list it down. You have the application fee, you have the medical checkup, you have the medical insurance for the first year, you have the MM2H visa fee, you have the MEV fees, which is the multiple entry visa, you have the journey performed visa fee, you have translation services if you're coming from another country. I think most of the time you have to translate it to Bahasa, the local language. So all of these are included, as well as security bond. So all of these fees are already taken care of in your main applicant fee. You don't have to pay again. So all of these fees are about at easily 15,000 ringgit. I don't know the exact specifics, but easily about 15 to 20,000 ringgit, right? And on top of that, you are getting a professional service from someone who is an expert in applying, and you know for a fact that if your application is good, you know that it will be approved on the first time. Like there's a 90% chance of you getting approval on the first time. You don't have to go back and forth with incomplete documents, right? So that is one thing you get. If you know, I'm a big fan of getting things done fast, right? Like I've always spoke about getting an agent to handle these things for you, because they are professional, they get it done fast. It all comes down to this, right? And this is directly, or basically this is written in the letter, in the statement that the government came up with. I'm just going to translate it in English. Additional service to be provided, right? So the agents or the agency will provide pickup service to and from airport and provide accommodation to participants. Also provide transfer service to and from MOTEC and the immigration department, as well as assist in the application for endorsement, extension and renewal of MM2H program. So what you are getting for the fees is an all-in-one service, right? From the time you want to apply until the time you want to renew, and until the time you even want to terminate, these guys will be there for you the whole time. So I think it's a fair amount. Moving on, how does the 90-day requirement work? Okay, the 90-day requirement is a cumulative day, right? So if you're coming here alone, you can stay first 30 days and then you can go back to your country or go wherever you want. You can come back to Malaysia, stay another 30 days, and then later on you can stay another 5 days and 5 days, as long as you complete 90 days in total. But now the new rule states that you can share this with your dependents. So let's assume you have 9 of you guys, like 1 applicant and 8 dependents. So there's 9 of you guys here in Malaysia, and you all got your visas, right? All of you stay for 10 days together at the same time. You just spent 10 days here, and you already met the 90-day minimum stay, because they count as each dependent. How many days are they spending here? 9 of you guys spending 10 days each, you've already met the 90-day requirement. Okay, I hope you guys understand this part. If you are above 50 years old, you do not have to follow the 90-day requirement. Now, which bank to use and what is the fixed deposit currency? Now, you can use any bank that is legally operating in Malaysia, whether local or foreign. And of course, we accept MYR and USD. And of course, they did mention that MYR is preferred, but you know, you can use either one, right? Once you place your money in the fixed deposit, you can collect interest from it. Now, the interest in Malaysia is about 4 to 5% per annum. So the interest that you collect can be withdrawn and used. So if you put in 1 million ringgit in your fixed deposit, you will be getting estimated at about 40 to 50,000 ringgit per month. Per year, per month. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, per year that you can withdraw and use. So yeah, that is one thing to note. Also, for those of you who are keen on the Sharia compliant accounts, they are also acceptable here as well. Now, one thing to note is that once you have registered or open up your fixed deposit and you place your fixed deposit inside, right, you have already confirmed the bank. That particular bank will be tied to your MM2H application. And that means that you cannot change your fixed deposit bank. If you want, you can open up a different bank account to put a different fixed deposit inside, but you cannot touch the money here. If that bank has been registered to your MM2H application, then that is fixed for the rest of your visa tenure. Alright, question 7. The 50% fixed deposit withdrawal and how it works. So, the old rule states that you have 1 year to buy a property and you can only apply for the 50% withdrawal after the first year, basically the second year onwards. Now they have changed that rule and made it easier and more lenient for everyone. Right after you get your visa endorsement, you can immediately apply for the 50% withdrawal. That is a very good thing because you don't have to strain on cash too much. As soon as you purchase the property, you can immediately get the money back, or most of it, alright? Some of you who have been staying in Malaysia for a while and you guys have already bought a property and now you are applying for MM2H. Now, if the property meets the minimum price threshold of MM2H tier that you are going for, you can just use that property and park it under your MM2H and you don't have to buy a new property. This is one thing that I want to note. The new rule states that in order for you to claim back that 50% from your fixed deposit for property purchase, the property has to be purchased 2 years prior to getting the visa endorsement. Which means that if you got your visa endorsement on 30th June 2025, the property has to be purchased between 30th June 2023 to 30th June 2025. Within that 2-year time frame, if you purchase the property, then you can apply for the 50% withdrawal. If you purchased your property 3 years prior to getting the visa endorsement, you are not eligible to get back that 50% withdrawal. You will just be stuck in the fixed deposit and you can collect interest on it. You do, however, still can withdraw up to 50% for education purposes, your kids' education actually, domestic tourism, as well as medical purposes, just not for property. Okay, for those of you who don't know, there is the minimum property purchase price in each state. Alright, I will put the table over here. Okay, you guys can see for each state. Now for Penang, Melaka and Perak, there is a minimum property purchase price of 600,000 and the rest of them are about 1 million ringgit. But of course, 600,000 is in a specific location, not in zone 1. Each state has their zones, right? So, but yeah, this is just the minimum purchase price. Just letting you guys know. Now, for the SEZ zone, okay, so this is a new rule for the SEZ zone. After getting your visa endorsement or approval, you have 1 year to purchase a property. But now they've changed it to something called 6+3, which means you either have to buy the property 6 months before getting the visa endorsement or 3 months or within 3 months after getting the visa endorsement. This is your time frame of buying the property in Forest City. Now, I know it sounds like it's a very rushed job, but don't have to worry, it's a fairly simple process, especially for Forest City, because you don't have to worry about getting scammed or anything like that, or dealing with multiple agents or finding the right agents. As soon as you get your visa approval and you're coming to Malaysia, you have that 3 months to do all your medical checkup and stuff. Once you've done all of that and gotten your visa endorsement, you can immediately just go to Forest City. You go straight to the sales gallery, meet the agent there, they will show you all the available unit they have, and you can immediately book and sign the sales and purchase agreement within a few days. Yes, that's it. It's fairly simple. You can also go and view the actual unit itself based on the view that you like, choose the units and immediately sign it within a few days. So it's fairly simple when it comes to purchasing a property at Forest City. So yeah, the 3 months is more than enough for you. Alright, so if you're enjoying this video, hit that like and subscribe button. Alright, and if you want to contact me, it's very simple. You can just scan the QR code here. This has my contact details, my property listings, some MM2H PDFs, and as well as my Instagram. So you guys can go and check out some property listings there as well. Now, I know you guys know that I am working on a relocation PDF, and I'm basically compiling all the details for all the visas, an easy and interactive way for you guys to actually decide or guide you to decide which is the best visa for you, the best places to stay, the best places to buy properties, and all that good stuff, right? So if you are interested in getting your hands on this PDF, you can join the waitlist here in the QR link tree here as well. So you can just click here and you can join the waitlist. Now back to the video. How is the MM2H visa renewal process? Okay, it's the same thing as, you know, renewing. As long as you follow the same rules and regulations, the process is fairly simple. So first is to prove that you have your 50%, minimum 50% fixed deposit is still there. Do another medical checkup and ensure your medical insurance is still valid. These are the main three things you got to do, alright, for the visa renewal after the first 5 years. One thing that I need to highlight, I need to stress this very much, is that I have been saying this, but I'm going to repeat it again. The MM2H contract or approval letter that you have, right, that you are signing, that is your rules and requirements that you have to follow. If there are future rules, like there are 20 different rules that have come up 5 years from now, or they changed a totally different visa that you don't have to buy a property, or you need to buy a car or offshore income, any rule like that will not apply to you. So this is considered the third generation of MM2H visa. There is the first gen and the second generation, which didn't require property purchase but required offshore income. Now they are still renewing their visa every 5 years or every 10 years, and they still have to maintain their offshore income. They don't have to buy a property, they still follow the same rules that they signed the contract with. So same thing with you guys, you don't have to worry about the rules being changed. If you have signed the contract for this specific set of rules or requirements, only this is what you need to follow for the next 5 to 20 years. Even after you renew for another 20 years, same thing, you don't have to worry about the other rules that they've set. Most important also is you need to be in Malaysia for the renewal process, because you have to go to the immigration office and stamp the passport and get the visa endorsement and everything again. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, they have to put a new 5-year visa. It's basically like our driver's license. Every 5 years we got to renew it. Now they did mention that it's highly recommended to start the visa renewal process at least 6 months before the expiry date. Now what if I terminate my visa? No problem, you can terminate it at any given time. You just need to write into the government and mention that you want to terminate your visa, your MM2H, for, you know, whatever reason that you have. It will take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to say, yes, you can terminate this visa, we have approved the termination and stuff. The reason that they are taking 2 to 3 weeks is because they just want to make sure that you do not have any like legal cases or criminal case, or if the police is looking for you, you know, those kind of stuff. They just want to make sure that everything is good, you're not running away from anything. Yeah, then it's approved. Basically, you can start to sell your property and withdraw your fixed deposit. Just as simple as that, nothing else. For the fixed deposit, some banks has mentioned that you need to be physically present in order to withdraw, and some banks you don't actually have to be present at the bank physically. So you can go back to your country and then tell the bank that you want to withdraw, also can. So yeah, it depends, just letting you guys know. Okay, so if you're selling your property within the first 5 years and you've made a profit out of it, you will get taxed for the RPGT, Real Property Gains Tax. Now, I've made a video on it over here. You guys can go and check it out. Yeah, I've explained everything there, but just as a small recap, basically, if you bought a property at 1 million ringgit and you sold it within 5 years at 1.5 million ringgit, you've made a 500,000 ringgit profit, and the government will tax you on that, which is about 30%, which comes up to about 150,000 ringgit. Now, you want to know more about how to go about this RPGT, you can watch the video over here. I'll put the link in the description as well. Why is the participation fee for the MM2H Platinum visa extremely high? The Platinum visa participation fee is 200,000 ringgit. It's a one-time fee, and you can think of it as a pledge to contribute to the Malaysian government. Think about it in another way, it's basically paying 10,000 ringgit per year for the next 20 years, or for a 20-year visa. You're telling the government that, hey, I want to do business here, I'm going to pay you 10,000 a year, let me do whatever business I want to do, as long as it's legal. I think that is a good deal, because the people who are taking the Platinum visa, they are not normal people. These are businessmen and women who are coming from another country, and they want to bring their HQ here. They want to bring their entire office and move it to Malaysia, because there are a lot of big tech companies coming in. I've made a video on it as well. Like, you have Google, you have Microsoft, you have Amazon Web Services, and a few others that are coming into Malaysia to open up their data centers and stuff. Now, there's a lot of companies who supply items and services to these big tech giants, right? So all of these companies as well are coming and opening up their HQ, their factories. They're bringing their whole business team or operations here in Malaysia, and this visa is basically for you, because you can bring your entire family here, your maid, relocate here. And yes, although you have a high fixed deposit, 1 million USD, and a minimum property purchase price of 2 million ringgit, yes, I understand there's a lot, but that still belongs to you. Once you leave, you can just sell the property, terminate your visa, and take all your money and leave. Nothing wrong. But you can make millions while you're here. So yeah, the 200,000 ringgit, I think it's justifiable. It's still, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Unless you're doing a small-time business, then this pass is not for you. So other new and important rules to take note. First thing is, the applicants will, or MM2H applicants, right, you guys will be randomly handpicked to get interviewed by the Royal Malaysian Police Force. Yeah, it's a random interview check. I don't know, they just mentioned random, so I'm just letting you guys know. So be prepared, right? You also have to show your resume, basically your employment history, your education, your income, basically your biography about yourself. So they just want to know who you are, where you're from, what's going on. So yeah, that's one thing. And you also need to show proof of property purchase within the first year. So after you got your visa endorsement, you have 1 year to buy a property, right? For the 3 silver, gold and platinum pass. So you have 1 year to buy the property and show proof of purchase, which is your sales and purchase agreement. Now, if you fail to do so, they may revoke your visa. So whatever fee that you paid is non-refundable, except for your fixed deposit, that's fully refundable. Yeah, whatever other fee you paid, agency fee that you paid, will not be refunded. So this is one thing to note, right? So if you are looking for property, I have a few properties in mind for expats like you guys. So depending on where you guys want, I have a few in mind that will be suitable for you, whether you are looking for education purposes, whether you're looking for healthcare purposes, or whether you just want out of the hustle and bustle of the city, you want a retirement home. I have a few, and I will recommend it to you guys, that if you guys are interested, right? Scan the QR code, let me know if you guys are interested in the PDF as well. All you have to do is just join the waitlist. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.